In the void, pairs of particles are continuously created. Their only destiny is to meet and disappear into each other. When two particles that have interacted with each other are separated, they're no longer distinct particles. The same thing happens when two people fall in love. Even if life pulls them apart, they'll always carry some trace of the other person inside. The bond between two particles that have interacted is only valid in the microscopic realm. It cannot be applied to the human world because human beings are much more complicated and unpredictable.
It's Friday, January the 7th, 2021 at 8:42 a.m. here locally in downtown Seattle. This is the One Hiraeth Project's DiaryCast number 21, entitled In Formation. My arrival in downtown Seattle about 3 weeks ago smoothly coincided with the beginning of what I always consider to be the holiday season. And for me, it's a shift in energy that I begin to feel about a week before Christmas Day and continues on through about the first week of January. And during that, say, 3-week period, leading up to Christmas would be 1, from Christmas Day through New Year's Eve would be 2, and the third week would be from New Year's Day through the beginning of January. In each of those 3 weeks, there's a unique signature that I think at one time or another we've all felt. But what I learned this year was that it's not just coming from an individual experience. It merges into a collective energy field that permeates the area in which you're residing. These additional layers of information I've come to understand are in formation as well, meaning they're in a state of change. They are becoming form or reforming. They are in formation, in a process. And I loved that coming to me about the process of information because I have now experienced that ongoing formation in process as additional information or layers of understanding have come my way as a part of this holiday season. I think most would agree that the week leading up to Christmas Day is a mixed bag. It's the anticipation of what's to come, the elation of what's about to be revealed, the awareness that people that you love are coming close, or you're going to them, or maybe even that people that you love and care about will be missing this year. That has a signature to it. The last minute things we all have to do, whether it's picking up presents or grabbing extra food at the grocery store for guests that are coming, or for us to bring with us when we are guests at another's home, and so forth. Streets are filled with more traffic, people traffic, vehicle traffic, etc. There's an energy to it. It's hyped up, but it's both agitation, challenge, angst, and, the anticipation of the exuberance that's about to happen. Especially on Christmas Eve, there are those few hours in the late afternoon into the evening when everything just feels different. It's as if you're at the crescendo of the melody and you are feeling it from its highest point, knowing that any moment the clock will turn and you will begin the descension. Not down into something ugly, just down from that peak of elation. Then Christmas Day comes, and the week between Christmas Day and New Year's Eve becomes one of settling into the transformation that has just occurred. The presents that have arrived, the new people, or the remembrances of those that have come before, just spending time with others, doing activities you wouldn't normally do. And that leads up to a second crescendo where you are sweeping away the old packaging and wrapping paper and the year that has come before, and you are looking forward to what is about to unfold without actually stepping into it yet. And there's an energy with that. And then from New Year's Day through that first week of January, there is the exuberance of being in the new. It's a release. It is coming out of the space between the end of the year, the end of Christmas and the holidays leading up to the turning of the page. That space between is about to turn forever. And you feel it. And it feels like somebody's taken some weight off of your shoulders. And that feeling remains until it begins to just release into standard, typical day-to-day activities, and that's different for everyone. Some people, it's the second week of January. Some people, it's the end of January. It's different for everyone. What I learned this year, because my slate was clear, meaning that I came to a brand new location at the same time this was all beginning to roll out. I'm near all of this water, which I've found as a natural conduit through my own personal experience and even my experience in Seattle 2 times before. And this year it was a bit different because of that, because my plate was clean, because I'm near the water, because of the apartment I have and my ability to see out into the elements, to watch the weather go by. Part of Seattle might have storms while the other part might be sunny. And from here I can see it all. Take a step back now. The information that has been in formation, what I have learned being alone here is that that energy is not just of the individual. The individual is exuding that out into the waveform energy of the location where they are, where it joins a collective energy of all others' signatures. So if the masses of people are experiencing each of these 3 weeks in their own unique way, and their energy is then joining with the collective, there becomes this realm of possibilities that is available to anyone. And that's what I felt. If you can see that here I am alone, I'm not upset about being alone. I enjoy it. I love watching this from a back seat in an observer kind of view. I have no depression about it or sadness or feel like I'm missing anything. I don't have the same highs, but I also enjoy the fact that, I get to see all these beautiful Christmas lights this time of year. And on New Year's Eve, depending on where I am, I might even see some fireworks. I like that. That to me is the personal gift. But it only takes you to certain heights. It's like a wedding day or a birth or just going to Broadway for the first time. So here I am in an environment where I have been doing energy work since my arrival. What I found was that the woman who I'm house sitting for has a condition that is treatable but not curable. And what I thought I would do, since she considers me an energy worker, she told me so, which I thought was real interesting because I never thought of that myself. I thought, well, let's prove her right. Let's step into that. If she believes it, then I'm going to believe it for her. And I'm going to do what I feel might be of benefit to change the dynamic of the molecular structure of the energy in the elements of her apartment. When I have been opening myself to do that and going from space to space, I have actually found myself receiving information. But that information has been in formation, been in process, adding layers to what already existed in what I'll say is my lexicon of language and understanding. And I felt it as it was happening. And this last week, being that we have now been let out of and into this new year of 2022, I can look back over the last 3 weeks and actually say, wow, I can see something that while in process, I couldn't put my finger on. And that is, each of those weeks had its own unique signature or feeling or energy around it. But it wasn't mine because I'm not wrapping presents. I'm not waking up in the morning, and having gifts. I'm not having family events. And I'm perfectly fine with that because I enjoy watching it from the outside. And I get to enjoy the Christmas lights and all the amenities that go along with it without any of the burden of it. So I recognized this flow and I allowed myself to lean into each of those energies as I was trying to identify them during a state of meditation so I could flesh out that layer and have the information come out from being in formation to being in form. So here's the synopsis. The flow of energy was so smooth that I never felt points of transition. It was like the temperature going from 60 to 72 and you never feeling the change. But I can absolutely, unequivocally confirm that each of those weeks had a unique feeling about it. So if I'm not doing anything in my space to create this, and I'm not going back in reverie to think about the past for whatever reason, to bring these feelings that are kind of traditional with the holidays up for myself, then where are they coming from? And I realized they're coming from the collective. So I sat in the energy and allowed myself to migrate through it vicariously for each of those 3 weeks so that I could feel them kind of in time-lapsed photography like that. And I literally then could feel the change within my own physical body, mostly in my, I don't know what you would call your chest area, your heart chakra area. So why is this important? It may not be to you, but for someone like me who's analyzing the unseen in ways that are possible, I have now come to understand that not only am I more empathic than I ever thought I was, but that I'm able to sense and respond to all of the energies that are around me at any given point in time. Yet underneath it all, aren't we all in formation? And for this week, I will leave it there.